guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back with RICELY. Yeah, she's RICELY here on YouTube. I'm gonna leave her link in the description, and also I'm gonna put a foot header thing so y'all can go click on her channel.
Subscribe.
Yeah. So as you guys can see by today's video, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little cringe, okay? Yeah. The title. We're not gonna make this video cringy because we are not cringy people. But, you know, we just thought that this would be something interesting, something that people would be curious to see. You know, a girl's perspective. And not just any girl, but two lit girls, okay?
Period. We love Jesus.
We love Jesus,
but
you know, we're a lot of saved. A little ratchet. Period. You know, a little hood and a little classy.
Yeah, so I mean, we felt like we didn't want to make the video like loyalty, like, you know, it's like
what's your favorite quality?
Yeah, no, like, it's just gonna be like a conversation that I feel like we have like all the time, you know, just about just in general, even as Christian women. It's not just like, you know, want to love Jesus, obviously, you know,
like you gotta love Jesus, period.
Like, or else it's just like not a conversation.
You're not even gonna make it in the cut. Like, we're not even gonna talk about you. But it's like, other than that, just like on a normal, level, like just as women, what women are looking for, but also just like what Christian women are looking for, and how you can be the balance between like, you're Christian, you love Jesus, you're saved, but you're also lit, because those are both, I'm not gonna say equally important, but like you being lit is also pretty important. Okay, so I wrote just a couple things down just to kind of guide our conversation. And the first thing is, so what is like one unspoken thing that girls look for in guys? Like, what are like things that like we kind of notice that guys might not notice, that like we're paying attention to, and things like that? Like things like you might hear and then you're like, we can't talk type thing. Like, even if they don't even know it.
I don't know. Okay.
Well, okay.
I'm trying to think.
It's just like, okay, so I guess like there's like levels to it, you know what I'm saying? Like, there can be like a guy that's saved, but it's just like, how saved are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, it is great that you are going to heaven.
Not necessarily how saved are you, but how solid is your relationship with God?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you about that life, or do you just go to church on Sundays?
Exactly.
Because I've seen a lot of people go to church on Sundays, and that's a great thing, but I think there's a different thing between going to church and like being about that life. Yeah.
So it's just like, you might be going to heaven, and that is great. I will clap you up when I see you there. But it's like, how like real deal about that life for Jesus are you? So I feel like one thing you kind of listen to, it's kind of like, you know, like when you ask a guy like, what does he like to do? You know, it's just like, hey, like, you know, what do you do on the weekends? And then like, if he lists off all these stuff and he don't mention church, it's like
that's interesting,
sir. Or if he does, it's just like, okay, he said he goes to church, but it's just like, do you serve? like, are you like in a small group? Do you read your word? It's just like little things that like, when you're just talking about yourself in general, like we're kind of like trying to like listen to like key things that not only do you love Jesus and are you saved, but it's just like, do you have God like incorporated like into your like into your life, daily life, and into like your week? And like, when you think about the things that you do, like, do you think about like church and like reading your Bible and like different things like that?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so is there anything like you think about, or like you can think of to add?
I guess for me it's kind of
it's okay, sis, let them know. Let them know, they want to know.
Okay, so I guess it's kind of like being specific. I always think of the video where Kanye is like, let's be specific. Let's be specific, you know, because I feel like, and there's nothing wrong with that. I respect everybody's whatever they believe, but obviously this is Christian girls. This video is Christian girls. So it's kind of like, you know, if you bringing up the universe and like God is me and me is God, it's just like,
it's like, okay, like let's say like as a Christian girl, if you just like see a cute guy, maybe you guys like exchange numbers, you guys kind of start to talk, and then you're kind of like trying to figure out like, does he love Jesus, does he not love Jesus, like how much does he love Jesus, like if you met him at church or something. When you start saying weird, for lack of a better word, weird in the like our kind of faith and our like the Christianity that, you know, like we partake in, because, you know, there's a lot of different ways people do Christianity, and, you know, to each his own. But like when you start bringing up like the universe and like God is me and me is God, and vibes or whatever. Like I said, to each his own. And at the end of the day, you know, I think everybody has a right to live their life and experience faith and spirituality the way that they want. But like I said, for the way that we practice faith and Christianity, it's just like kind of raising an eyebrow, you know? Like when you start saying like different stuff like that, it's kind of like, okay, like what kind of saved or what kind of Christian is he? So I feel like just like as girls walking like through the world and like just meeting different people, you kind of have to start listening for keywords to hear like, or like to see and try to decipher and discern, maybe I shouldn't hang out with you, or like maybe I shouldn't go on that date, or maybe like I should stop texting you type of thing, just because you realize that your values don't align. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know?
And that's the thing, that there's nothing wrong with that. I think that sometimes it's so like, oh, but why? And it's just like, honey, that ain't like, it's just like, obviously like, this might be controversial, right? Like obviously a lot of people might not agree, whatever, but obviously when I talk to a lot of my friends who, you know, they're Christian but they don't necessarily want to like be equally yoked or anything, that they don't care about any of that, it's kind of like, why wouldn't you talk to them? Or like, why wouldn't you? And it's just like, honey,
I've been there. Why? But like, what's wrong? But like,
I've been there and I've done that, and everybody has their own choice. If you want to talk to someone, I'm not gonna do you unless they ask me for advice. That's a whole different thing. But obviously at the end of the day, it's like kind of like when you've been there and you've done that and you've tried that whole like, I'm gonna take it,
missionary
like,
dating.
Ain't nobody got time for that, okay? We need to be equally yoked here. We need to both like be able to me learn from you and you learn from me. If you're the only one learning from me and I'm not learning anything from you, there's a problem, you know? So
for sure. And I just feel like at the end of the day, like it's not a one size fits all when it comes to relationships, you know? Obviously, like in this video, it's just like two girls' perspectives type of thing, you know? And obviously we think we see things similarly, but in a lot of ways we also see things differently, you know? So it's just kind of like whatever it is that like somebody's personal preference it is when it comes to like dating or like, you know, like being with somebody or like finding a partner. It's just their own personal preference, and you can't really, you can't or you shouldn't really get upset about that. It's just like there's nothing to be offended about, or it's not like there's nothing wrong with being picky, or there's nothing wrong with being specific.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like especially women sometimes like if a woman's like too specific or like she knows what she wants, it's like, oh my god, like you're being so unrealistic, like you're never gonna get that, you're like that person doesn't exist. And it's just like, obviously I think that you shouldn't have this whole list where it's like if he's not 6'5", has a 6-figure bank account and this and that, like all of just these very, very specific things, sis, you might actually not find a man, okay? Like, but it's just like there are some things like, you know, are your non-negotiables, and then you just kind of go from there.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's fine.
And even then, I think even with non-negotiables that are pretty basic, people still say, you're too picky because I want a man of God, honey. No, I'm too picky.
You can count on your quiet and gentle spirit to save your husband.
No.
But not me. I'm so sorry about it. That's just not my portion. If you're already in that situation, then there's always grace for that, and the Lord can do anything. But I'm not going to put myself in that situation.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think we're at a place where it's kind of like, at the end of the day, I don't want to step out of the will of God and then try to get back in it. You know, it's like, I'm just going to try to stay in it because ain't nobody got time for that.
Period.
Yeah.
So, the next thing. What's the first thing you notice in a guy?
You can go first.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, it also kind of depends maybe on like the place that I am, or like the location that I am in. But for the most part, like let's say if I'm at church, and for the most part, like let's say if you're at church, you kind of assume that people are saved. You really never know, but you know, you kind of assume. So realistically, what catches your attention is, are they cute or not?
Yeah, that's
like
true. It's
just like, if okay, let's be honest, you know, everybody is beautiful in the eyes of the Lord, you know?
And everybody is, the thing is that my level of, I think they're cute, might not be yours. You might think people are cute there. I'm like, they're cute to the Lord, but they're not cute to me.
Exactly, like they're cute in the eyes of the Lord, but not in the eyes of me, okay? Yeah. Like, period. So it's just like, when I see this person, it's just like the first thing that's even gonna make me like double take, like break my neck type thing, if we're being honest, is if they're cute, you know?
Yeah, of course. I guess maybe the same for me, like, also height. I know that's one of your questions, but like height kind of matters to me. Like, I'm a pretty tall girl. I'm like 5'8", and that is pretty tall for a girl. Obviously, a lot of guys are like my height or like shorter, and it doesn't mean that you can never, well, if you're shorter than me. It's crazy. I know this is not, but like, so there's this guy that I thought was cute at some point. And I realized when I went to church the other day that he is my height. And I never realized it. And I was like, wow, I was blinded. There is just no way. And obviously we're gonna get to this. We'll get to it. But anyways, height matters to me, kind of. You know, like obviously I just feel like, you know, I want to be able to wear heels on my wedding day. I don't want to have to kneel down to kiss my man. You know, just different. I think those are basic things.
Kneel down, okay.
But I feel like if you, I don't want to have to
kneel down.
Which I'm not, Lord. But I'm just saying, you know, which everybody to each their own. If you want to, like, if you want to date someone that's 5'2", that's your business. And I feel like there's somebody for everybody. There's a lot of short girls that would love a 5'2" man, but I'm 5'8". So that wouldn't work. But yeah. But then it gets to, I know we're getting to another topic, so I feel like then it gets to the sauce portion.
That is true, y'all. We gonna get to the sauceology part of
very important. Sauceology 101. Okay, like sauce is so important. No, like for real. And when we say sauce, it's kind of like, how do you explain it? Like,
man, it's funny because we were having
in a Christian way.
Yeah. So it's just like we were having a conversation about this like with our guy friends, and they were kind of like, okay, but like, what do you mean like sauce? Like, what does it mean for like, you know, a guy to be saucy? And I'm just like, if you have to ask, what is sauce? Do you have sauce? No, I'm just kidding. But it's kind of like just like your mannerism, you know, like the way that you carry yourself. Like I feel like having sauce is kind of like a certain confidence that you exude, like when you're talking, not even just to women, but like when you're talking to other people, and just like the way that you carry yourself, and like, you know, like just like you as a whole and in a package, you know, kind of like, let's say if you are interested in a woman, like the way that like you kind of flirt with her, or like whatever the case may be, like just the sauce, like,
yeah,
you know
I agree. And that even ties into what I was saying, like this person who I was, nothing ever happened, I was just interested in that person, right? But they were my height, and I just realized it 2 days ago. But the reality is that the reason why is because not that they ever tried to flirt with me, but they have the sauce.
You can just tell, you can see the sauce
by the way they walk, the way they talk. To everybody, it's just in general, you can tell that like they know who they are, and the way they walk, talk, do everything, you can tell. So that makes it like And I did, so that's why I feel like height is kind of interchangeable. Like if you have the sauce, you can be 5'10" and sauce me up. So it's kind of like, I think the way you carry yourself and your confidence has a lot to do with like your height matters less.
You know? Your personality to a certain extent. I'm sorry, if you're 5 inches shorter than me, that is just that is null and void.
Okay, but obviously. Is there any more?
So what's the number one quality that you look for in a guy? Obviously, like let's say like if you meet a guy, like, you know, like you can actually see the fruit in his life. He really is saved.
Okay, so we're not, I feel like we're not, at least for me, I'm not going to talk about like loyal or like,
exactly, like, duh, I want you to be loyal.
Exactly.
It's just like,
hello.
Let's say something that's like not super, I guess like one of like the mainstream things, you know, that like you usually think about in a partner.
Yeah. One of them?
Yeah, like let's say like the number one quality, for example. Like at this point, like you know they're faithful. Obviously, you're attracted to them.
Okay, so does like the way they manage their money count? Yeah. Is that something? Okay, so for me it's that. For me it's like financial, like even if you're not at that place, it's kind of like, it's more of a mentality or a perspective more than it is a number in your bank account. Like I feel like your perspective, like, are you saving? Are you investing? Are you actually like have like financial goals of like investing in a property? Obviously it doesn't have to be literally that, because those are like mine. But like in general, like actually, even if you're not at that place, caring and actually being intentional and putting in the effort to be at a financially independent place in the future. And I feel like because that is what I want to do, I think it's important, and it's very important to me. If my partner doesn't find that important, it's going to be very difficult for us to in the future
like build together.
Yeah, so, and obviously some people aren't like that, which is fine, but I think that because that is obviously never on top of God or even on top of my family or anything, but obviously it is on my top list of importance to me, you know? So I feel like if it needs to be important to them too. On some type of scale. For sure. Even if it's not necessarily like on your same level, but like something that like they're still thinking about, like an area that they want to grow in. So, What about you?
I feel like for me, one thing is definitely like ambition, you know? I feel like so often we're kind of like, I I guess, kind of taught to like downscale our dreams and to just be practical. And obviously I feel like there are definitely places for practicality, you know, but when it comes to like dreams and visions and things that you feel like the Lord has placed on your heart, or even things that like I feel like the Lord has placed on my heart, like somebody who's ambitious and like really motivates me, and somebody who really encourages me, and they're just like, hey, you know, like with God, like why can't we do that? Like if you have that dream, like why can't we do that? You know, like why can't we at least try, you know? So I feel like that's something that's really important, because I feel like sometimes, I feel like one thing that's really important is that anything that you want in a partner, you need to first manifest that in yourself, you know?
That's good.
So I feel like that's something that, let's say like an area that I kind of lack and that I want to grow in, but something that I want like my future partner to be able to complement.
That's good. And I just thought of this, but even like when it comes to you having a dream and them supporting it in a way, you know, like it's like, I don't know, I think of like if I want to work out, like buy me a fitness journal. Like I feel like little things like that are so important, like, and they make you feel special, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
so just like somebody that's also, even if it's not necessarily something that they may necessarily like see importance in, or you know, something that they're not necessarily seeing, like them still being able to like get behind you on whatever it is that, you know, you may be believing for, you know, because not every single thing that like I'm gonna want to do is necessarily gonna spark their interest, or is it gonna be something that they find super important, but just somebody who's like willing to encourage you and also hold you accountable is really important.
That's good.
Yeah. So I feel like we definitely touched on a lot of different topics throughout this video.
We did.
But I hope that anybody that's watching, you know, if you're a Christian girl and you're kind of thinking like things that maybe I should be focusing on more, things that I should kind of be looking for in a partner, or even guys who are curious about, you know, what two Christian girls think, you know, I hope that this video was insightful for you. I hope that you laughed a little bit with us. I hope that nobody took anything too personally. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's
a perspective.
Yeah, it's a perspective, and it's just everybody's different. Everybody's gonna want different things. And there's nothing wrong with that.
And comment below one of the things that maybe you look for that you didn't hear us say. You know?
So maybe there's something like a major key that we missed. So definitely, sis, share it with us. So thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you go to RICELY'S channel and you check out her videos. And I'll definitely see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye, guys.
Bye.